Kendo Podcast episode 183. In this episode, I want to talk about Kendo when you're down. Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from kendoguy.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit kendoguy.com for more Kendo information and how to support kendoguy.com. Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 183. Now, before I forget, I will be taking off to Japan this week, so I might not be able to upload podcast or other Kendo videos. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna be there for 2 weeks. I might be able to videotape some Kendo stuff, but let's see. And so, Kendo when you're down, like we live our life. Everyone does, right? And that's why you're listening to this. And bad things happen to us. Sometimes your work doesn't, it's not really working for you. People, your coworkers are not really, you don't really like them. All kinds of stuff. That maybe you're married. If you're a married couple, or if you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, your relationship might be, not doing well sometimes. Well, every things happen. If you have kids, they don't listen to you in a very bad way, or sometimes things happen, right? And the Kendo, when you do, how can Kendo help? I don't know, to be honest with you. But if you do Kendo as a as a training method of your internal strength, this should help, right? Kendo should help. Now, I want to make it how Kendo helped me should be shared with you, I think. Now, I have been through, it's a big and small. It depends on how you look at it. And you might think, oh, that's not really, compared to mine, that's nothing. Maybe you might think that. But if you think, if you start thinking like that, if you see things, other people's things at your level. For example, if you are, 6 down, I'm 6 down level at the moment, and if you look at this showdown, and if I can tell them, why can't you do it? It's easier for me to say that, right? So I don't think that is a right attitude. That's the first thing I want you to be on this same page. I don't think we should compare our personal issue or personal growth, personal strength with others, because we are all different. So, that is my view. Okay, so Kendo, to be honest with you, I haven't gone through hard time. That is probably basically my personality is like that. Maybe I don't see things serious. Not serious. I'm a very serious person too. But I can kind of set. Excuse me. I haven't my my asthma is kind of there at the moment. So I'm sorry if I cough. I'm sorry. Okay, so I've been to New Zealand, Japan, New Zealand, Guatemala, and now America. I have gone through racism, and I have gone through some, relationship with ladies, and all kinds of stuff, sad things. Going through some friendship, breakup kind of stuff as well. So everyone has gone through these things, and of course, my when my dad died, I was sad. I saw him lying down on the bed. We know he is going to go soon, and it's sad. I mean, I'm a normal human being, so I feel sad. And how does Kendo helps? When you are under stress, you know, uh, in Kendo, you have to stay calm, right? You when you get you have to uh, manipulate yourself so you can keep your mind center. That's what we are doing it basically. Uh, Through fights, you get angry sometimes. Of course, you don't get sad in Kendo, but when maybe you're tired, you don't want to do anything, you can't keep going, but you have to push yourself. That's a control in your mind. You can give up anytime. You can say, no, I can't go anymore, but you keep going, right, in Kendo. And if you have gone through such training, you can keep yourself center. I mean, that is a very important thing to do for us in Kendo, right? Kendo was derived from samurai swordsmanship. And when you fight, imagine you're fighting, you're killing each other with a blade right in front of you. And, in a split second, you might be on the ground, bleeding to death, right? Maybe you just die with one cut and you don't even know you're dead. So, under such stressful, dead or alive situation, you have to keep yourself calm. I don't know if you can do it or not. I've never been in such situation, but that's basically Kendo is teaching us. Under any condition, you should keep yourself together, right? Emotion together. Uh, I think a lot of people go through sad things, but life goes on. And, Kendo training goes on. If you do Kendo as what do you call it? Like, entertainment, like a hobby, I don't think you can get there. I don't think you can use Kendo as a tool to go through the hardest moment of your life. So, Kendo, if you see Kendo as your training system, inside you, you can train your mental strength uh, through Kendo, right? So if you see Kendo like that, I think Kendo will help you to go through hard, toughest moments in your life as well. So these little things sensei tells you, and you might not agree with whatever you're told to do. You should be doing this, you should be doing that. Now they are telling you because that will make your Kendo better. Make your Kendo better is if you step up in Kendo, you will see something different. And I'm hoping, we are hoping that me too. If I go to step up in Kendo, I'm hoping and I believe that Kendo will take myself to the other level too. So if whatever I learned through Kendo, I want to use that through in my life. So that's why I'm trying. I am doing Kendo. Kendo directly influenced my personal life. That's how I want to do Kendo. So it's a discipline, right? And every little single things matter in Kendo. And even you don't think it matters. You don't know because you haven't been there yet. A lot of sensei tells you, oh, you better do this, you better do that, because they've been there and they have been to what we've been going through, right? So they know what you should be doing, or maybe they know your next goal is. You can reject that. If you reject, you won't be able to see it. Okay, and if you remember what senses tells you to do, all right, you might not agree with it. Okay, it's important for everyone to remember. You get used to Kendo, and you become 2段, 3段, 4段, 5段, and then you start forgetting humbleness, and you start going when you right before exam. You start listening to sensei. Right before Shia, you start listening to sensei. That because you want to pass, right? I heard from some sensei, people start coming to Keiko, and then they start asking sensei what they should be doing, and then after they pass, they don't even come and thank them. I think that is not a good attitude of Kendo. They are just focusing on passing the exam. That is a part of it. That is a part of Kendo. But you cannot pass. You cannot get better on your own. You have been learning Kendo from a lot of senseis, lot of friends. They helped you, so that's why you're there. We shouldn't forget that, right? I'm telling that to myself too. We shouldn't forget, because of these sensei and because of these sensei, and it keeps going up, right? We are here learning Kendo. We shouldn't forget this. Sometimes some people. And once we don't forget about these things, we can start learning, good things about Kendo, and we can use it to our life. So I'm thinking, for now, those little things I have to fix, even don't open your palm. Don't open your right palm when you have, just a lot of people do that because they want to relax their right palm, right hand. So they open it before they strike men. I used to do that, and then I know I have to fix it. But if you don't focus, you can't fix it. Now, if you don't focus, you can't fix it. That means you have to constantly remind yourself, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that, until you don't have to, right? So that is discipline. That is how you can put up with yourself, being patient, having yourself in the center, accomplish your goal. So people go through really hard time, and somehow life goes on. They won't stop. Life doesn't stop because we are sad, because we don't want to walk. It doesn't stop, right? So the important thing is how we can look at ourselves, and then you can be sad. I'm not saying we just laugh it away or anything. Everyone has different coping system, right? Coping methods. So whatever works for you, you should be doing. But the important thing is you can put yourself in the center, and then heijoshin, calm mindset. You have to keep yourself calm. Excuse me. You have 4 sicknesses, right? You remember Shikai, 4 sickness. Kyo, ku, gi, wak. Kyo is surprise, and gi is doubt. Ku is fear, gi is doubt, and waku is hesitation. Now, if you have these 4 sicknesses in your mind, your judgment won't be correct. Your judgment will be a very dull judgment. You can't have sharp, correct judgment. You might misjudge your way, but constantly we have to remind ourselves, okay, in Kendo, we should do that. How can we move ourselves when we need to? And of course, as in Kendo, now life is a lot more complicated. That's why we do Kendo. It's much simpler, but yet it's very hard to do. That's why it's good for us. We have to be patient. We have to look, face ourselves, face to ourselves, face to our problems. We have to constantly work on ourselves to make ourselves better. That's why it is good for us, right? That is why we can stay focused. The one thing we can improve ourselves. So, uh, you know, you sometimes Kendo needs a training partner, right? When you need a partner or great mates around you to get over something, you have to have them, and then that is if that helps you to have your mind center focus, you gotta do that. If your Kendo helps you to do so, you gotta do Kendo. Kendo, Alex Bennett sensei once in the interview with Alex Bennett, I did that a while ago, a long time ago actually, after he passed seventh dan. He said Kendo is his barometer of life. When you are feeling bad, your Kendo is going to be bad. If you're feeling, if you're happy, if your life is really doing good, your Kendo gets better. So if your life affects Kendo, your Kendo can affect your life. So if your life, in your life, you're having a hard time, go to dojo and then try to stay focused and then try to put yourself in the center of your universe, and you might be able to control. You might able to get the better control of yourself. All right, so whatever helps, Kendo is there. If you start doing Kendo like hitting game, you don't feel like that. Okay, it doesn't give you. If you lose, you don't like it, right? So that's why I don't want you to do Kendo. If you're old enough, Kendo should help you to cope with your life. If you use Kendo to maintain yourself in the center, I think that is a right way. That is a good tool. That is a right way to use Kendo as a good tool, right? So I hope Kendo will help you with dealing with your life, and of course your life will help you to learn Kendo better. Okay, thank you for listening. Again, I might not be able to upload a podcast, but that's because I'll be in Japan. So next 2 weeks I might not be able to, but I'll do my best. All right, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast. I would like to send special thanks to patrons for their constant support through patreons.com/Kendo for Life.